say every single time without it ever being awkward. And you can use this regardless of height or riches or social status.
I don't know.
And
If
not
you're
only
like
that,
5'2",
it will work
you
even
good
if
look.
you have failed with women countless times over.
I
So we're
failed
just
with
going
women.
to bust right into the presentation here, because
Show me how to
every
get these
other
women.
method
To be
that
honest, Lamar, it
99%
takes
of
a
men
lot
have
for
been
you to
using
try
has
on
essentially
like
been
you do all the
exploited for
time.
years. And today's
I got an
something new
8-pack and I
arises,
still don't
because
got
when
women,
you have
bro.
a
There's
new
something
mechanism
wrong.
like this that works this
No, you
well,
don't, bro.
it would be crazy for us not to show you. So here's the deal. I'm going to show you a method that
titties,
virtually
that's what
no
you
got.
man
Ooh.
knows about, that has taken myself from confused with women and heartbroken
look
10
buff.
times over to hooking any woman into love without her ever pulling back. And the really cool thing
Ooh.
about this, guys, is that you can steal this method and copy paste it in your life to essentially become the chooser as a man and not the one
we really
waiting to
about
be
get
chosen.
educated, bro. Hold
You're also
on.
going
What
to
is
figure out how to
it?
brainwash and hook
Educated.
any woman into
Let me
love
turn off this
when you go
Batman
out.
real
And
quick.
essentially
Hold on.
through this, you're going to have her begging to be your girlfriend, because now you're going to never struggle
Begging.
with
Amar, you hear
dating or
this?
relationships as a man again. And like I said, it's an easy, repeatable process that everybody gets results with. So when I say chooser, you guys, I literally mean be the chooser and not the one waiting to be chosen. Like, I have women flooding my inbox every day,
Ooh.
and I can't even
Okay.
keep up like this, because it's like when you know how to make her emotional hot buttons tick every single time, you get this kind of result where it's like they're now the ones in
What other
pursuit,
things?
and you positioned yourself at the one of being the higher value. The fact is that most men just don't know how to do this. So this won't waste your time. And the reason why it won't waste your time is because you're going to learn so many things throughout this. But here's the deal. Every single time at the start of a webinar
Imagine
like this,
like mid-seminar
everybody
just
thinks it's
sliding to our
bullshit.
computer,
Okay, which
getting
is
our data.
specifically why I'm going to show you other men just like you, just like me, who have gotten this same amount of success. Because when they started to implement this, the women just came flooding. Now,
Kevin's
the truth
a
is that when
chronic
Kevin started
masturbator.
using this, he said this was like witchcraft to
What? Is that
those
what he
who
said?
have no idea about
Alright,
this
I'm about
type
to use this
of
right
running
now in
female
real life
dynamic.
on my phone.
And the fact is that when he got success like this, he was
His
just able to
method,
repeat this
what
every
he's about
single
to
time
say.
with any woman.
I'm
Now,
about
our
to DM
blueprint
some random girl
inner
on
circle
Insta.
biggest
to be
skeptic
honest,
was Mike T.
I'm gonna keep it
Okay,
real.
and I
Half
blurred
of these
out some of
women
Mike
been through
T's,
some bad relationships, so
text
they
message,
just want something
because
nice, you know?
he obviously is having a little bit of fun. But
I don't think
you
it's
guys
gonna
can see,
work
he
so well
goes,
for me and you.
quick therapy
We'll see.
follow-up.
I
Friday
know,
night led
I'm about
to
to
a
just
great
troll,
porno
bro. That's
sex
what
with
I do.
amazing blank session after. And I bleeped it
Great
out just,
porno
to
sex.
protect some of his privacy.
What?
But, for example, guys get into, improving with women and dating, and they
Who
think
watches
that money is
porno
the only
sex?
answer. They think if they had enough money, they would be completely set. But the fact is that could not be further from the truth. Mike is an anesthesiologist making $1 million a year. He was
Oh,
2
what the
times
fuck?
divorced, and he still could not figure out why women
Michael
left.
made $1 million.
Okay, and he could
$1
never
million a
figure it
year
out.
and you're
When
not
he
getting
started to
women?
actually
That's your
implement
fault,
these
big homie.
tools,
I mean, to be
everything
honest,
changed for
I'ma
him,
keep it a buck
and his
with you,
lifestyle
dog.
became amazing with women.
pretty
If you
sure
look at
she cheated
George,
on
George
you
goes,
after she
dude,
got
your
your
program
money.
has
She just
completely
cheated
changed
on
the
you.
There's a
game
difference
with
between
me.
getting
I now
women
have
and
game
having
at
them
the
fake
snap of
them.
my
I mean,
finger.
I
And
can
that's
still
just
get them.
because he's been
You
copying
seen
the
my
MBT
car, right,
system.
Amar?
If you look at
Mhm.
Vince, he goes, I noticed a
I'ma tell you,
mindset
like,
shift, and I'm
when I
only
drive
on
it, girls
module
will look at
7.
me
He
and
goes,
stuff. I
dude,
don't
this
even look at
content
them
is
'cause, like,
gold.
I know,
If
like,
you look at
if a
Marcus,
girl won't
Marcus
talk to
goes,
you
is
and
it a
stuff before
coincidence
you
that as
had
soon
your
as I
car,
started this
bro,
program, females have been
and
hunting
then
my
you're more
phone up
noticeable,
out of the
like,
blue?
you're more
If you look at
noticeable, like,
John
some girls
Harris,
probably, like,
he
look
goes,
at
I
you,
can now
like,
see
without
through
the
the
car, they're like,
matrix.
oh,
Okay,
hey,
these
you don't
guys have
got
a
money,
leg
or,
up
like,
compared to
it's
the
cool
other
for, like,
99%
nobody
of
wants
men.
to
And I've
date
said this
somebody broke,
throughout
you know what I
a
mean?
million times
But people
throughout
that would,
this
like,
webinar.
never
It's like,
ever give you a chance
if
after
you
they see your
want
car, like, you can tell the
success, you have
difference,
to
bro.
do what 99% of men have no clue
Like,
about. So today I'm
fall
going
for
to
that
show
trick, 'cause,
you
like, as
this
soon as
because
you run
men,
out,
young and
it's
old, are
next to the
learning
next, it's
exactly
up to
what
the
it
next
takes to
loser,
be a
bro.
man with options in 2020 and
Oh,
so
they helped
on.
the brother. Look
And you
at
see,
the
we
top
have guys
right.
in here from all shapes and
Yo,
sizes, all
Darnell.
colors, all backgrounds.
Look at the guy on the
Some are
bottom.
young, some are old. Everybody helps each other. And the fact is that this community
Yo,
has
what
grown
the
ridiculously strong with MBT because it
Why'd he
works for
take that
every
picture?
single man. Now, if you look at Mike, Mike's getting ridiculous success. If you look at Matt Strong,
Mike,
up top,
pipe
he
it up.
goes, I want to take a second to thank Casey for this course.
Oh,
I sat
Casey.
down next to 2 women. I struck up a conversation, and the words flowed like water. If you look at
Can I get
Cedino,
Casey?
he goes, I was in a 13-year marriage heading for divorce. Okay, and he was able to completely
Heading for
recomp
divorce.
because of this course. If you look at Christian up top, there's getting ridiculous success with women, and it's all because of this system. Now, we're going to show you how we've helped dozens of
Oh, shit,
regular,
can I get
everyday
all
men
3?
attract sexy women by the
I need
flocks
number
by being
3.
early
More
adopters of
might
this
like him
blueprint.
anorexic,
Because when they were
that's
early
all I need,
adopters,
bro.
they knew this was
Yeah,
working
that's
before
me.
any
I'm
other
pretty
man
sure
did.
number 3
So
is
these
Photoshop.
guys that you're seeing
Yeah.
all joined our inner circle
I don't
How
think
community.
long
it's a
is this
live
They
live
all
stream?
joined our
I don't think it's a
masculinity
live
blueprint
stream
inner
anymore.
circle
The
group to
beginning
become
was, but I think this
1%
is just
men
a
that
whole
actually
video.
know this technique.
Yeah, like
However, today
pre.
what we're doing is
Yeah,
we're
pre-made
solely
videos.
focusing on delivering enough content and enough value on this live broadcast alone, so that way way you can take this system and you can start to run with it and
First
start
thing,
to apply
show me
these
where
things
these
and make
type of
these
women
mental
are.
connections on your own. Okay, and this helped Mike so much that he even tatted the 1% motto on his arm, because when he adopted these principles, he literally became that that 1% man that knew how to be the chooser
Yeah.
and not the one waiting to be chosen. So
For
if you want to see people doing
picture
this
on the
in under
bottom
30
right,
days,
that looks like somebody's
okay, not only do I
mom,
want
like a
to
basic
encourage
mom.
others that this dream is possible, to have this abundance of dating
That's a picture of his
and the
dad and
sex
his
life
mom.
of your dreams, but I want you to have the blueprint that most men also never have and have never even had the opportunity to receive. So if you're on this webcast, this is an amazing opportunity for you. Now, the results from the last webinar alone specifically was Dalton was able just to watch this video, just to watch this webinar, and got his girlfriend within 33 days. Cole used this mechanism, MBT, to get his girlfriend in 21 days because MBT gets just wicked success. And these are a couple other results from the last webinar. John goes, dude, I was a total badass Monday night, and I chose which of the group of 3,
Literally,
and then I made her a bad girl.
I ain't touch her, bro. Watch you gonna end up
adapted
dead.
this same principles and copied it into his life. Matt goes, crazy update, I just had sex with her. This changes everything. If you look at Chris's results from the last webinar, you go way down to the bottom, because now she's hitting me up every weekend. Okay, he now has women pursuing him. He now is the one coming from that value where she wants to lock him down. This is exactly what you need, and this is exactly what most men have no idea how to do. And it's all because the blueprint that they follow gets amazing results. Okay, and this training is nothing like you've ever seen before. By the end of this webinar, fellas, you will know exactly how to talk to any woman at any time and attract her to turn her on. And hardly any men, other than the ones who have been in this inner circle, know about this brand new attraction method that is so easy to use. And by the end of it, it's going to be like cutting a hot knife through butter with your attraction. And guess what? We do this without her even realizing that we're making a steady move. And we do this so that way we never feel nervous or anxious or scared to offend or stuck in our head at any time. We literally just get the results, and you see the testimonials are just flooding in because this top secret advice, this information, all of these messages giving praise are real. And the cool thing is, at the end of this presentation, you're going to even have the opportunity
no sex with her for 15 years? Are you mad?
We need to put out. Okay, because when it comes to
the thing on the right, he was like, I didn't have sex with her for 15 years.
Some of these topics get taboo. You know, which is why we put the viewer discretion in.
I'm throwing out everything I'm eating right now.
Here's the deal. We never talk personal names of women that we're referring to, because that's dumb, and that can get us into a lot of trouble. In this webinar, we will only talk about the tactics that have been used to get these women, okay? And we keep all privacy to a maximum. So this is not some how to be the best pickup artist bullshit, saying
I'm hard. I'm just
going
like, it's
at
time.
this exact time, because that doesn't work.
No, you want to hear boss music, bruh.
Okay, this is not effortless earnings, because there is no magic how to meet women and have sex button. Okay, nobody.
I don't want sex. I just want the woman. I can do the sex part on my own.
This is not a sneaky way to trick women into having sex with you. Instead, we want to show you the actual best way to master your attraction. And I'm sorry if you wanted some fake clickbait tactics, some fake clickbait headline, because that's a scam, and this is not that. Okay, this is the truth on attraction. And the people you are going to hear from are hardworking men who wanted a change. Keep that in mind. They made sure they applied each and every step of the process and used all of the information in action. Okay,
I need you to do this, bro.
From this are going to be entirely up to you. Why do we underline the words in action? Because that's the truth. They know the information, but they actually applied it. They're doers. You have to be a doer to make this work. And if you're a doer, you will 100% get all of the success that these guys had. So our goal today is to really just hold nothing back. Okay, we want you to become a master at attracting money without being rich, without being tall, without being handsome, and without her ever even logically realizing what is going on. Okay, and this will show you exactly how to instantly get her hooked so that way her emotions take over. And basically the risk of embarrassment or failure or rejection will be eliminated because you will now have a rock solid process on how to do this every single time with every single woman with ease. So our promise to you, okay, because we don't just want to waste your time with this webcast. Our promise is that by the end of this call, you will know exactly how to get results like the things that you've seen so far. Even if you've had no prior success with women, even if you're constantly are stuck in your head and don't know what to do, or even if you are limited on time when it comes to dating women. That's a huge one for guys. Because we want these women begging for you and calling you daddy. Okay, not you saying on Snapchat and then being left on open wondering, oh, why the hell didn't I text the right thing? Okay, you need a process that actually works. And we want you to hold us accountable as hell on our promise. Because we will do a poll at the end asking if we delivered on it. And this is not some hype webinar with zero value. Okay, this is a webinar where you're going to learn step by step how to get really hot women. And not only that, how to get the women that you always wanted.
I don't care how women look,
if
I
this
just
is
want
something
women.
That you want, if you want me to proceed with this presentation, type 2 in the chat box if you can hold us accountable as hell on this, and you can actually watch this until the very end. 2. I see a lot of 2s. Awesome, let's go. So here's what you're going to learn today. There's 3 secrets. The first secret is the simple 3-step process to make sure that any woman is instantly attracted to you by using the MBT training. Okay, by using masculine behavioral training, you're going to know exactly how to make her instantly attracted to you without guessing at any point where the interaction's headed. That's the first thing. Okay, the second thing, you're going to know specifically how to create a pipeline of additional women you can reach out to that will always be your MBT leftovers, and the example was Marcus, who had women hitting him up. The third secret is how you're going to use MBT methods to have a leg up compared to your friends or the other 99% of men. That virtually eliminates all risk of failure with a woman. Okay, adding a plethora of confidence to yourself and women at your disposal, not the other way around. There's so many men where they're chasing so many women and they have no options and they're constantly at the disadvantage. Okay, this webinar is specifically designed to flip that, so you now have control of your dating life. And what we really want out of this, and why we are going to show you the best system, is we want to prove to you how you can handle your entire dating life once and for all to attract hot and sexy women whenever you want. So that way you know what to say and you understand every single girl's sex language to get her in that mood no matter what. That's crucial. And this is what we need from you. Okay, if we're going to deliver all this information to you fellas, we need a promise. Okay, a promise of true implementation on what you're about to see. Because nothing hurts me more than giving you the solution and then running into you years down the road or on social media seeing that you still have not taken action.
It's like when you're self-aware.
So all of these hours on Tinder swiping, DMing, doing random approaches, getting drunk every Friday or Saturday night just for false confidence to walk up and talk to a woman, all of this bullshit needs to end.
Yeah, some people just,
because this is ridiculously easy if we make it easy. So do we have a deal? Type 2 in the chat box if we have a deal. If I start seeing 2s, we're going to move on. 2.
It's like people aren't confident
2.
They're ugly, bro.
Okay, perfect. Let's go.
3,
so how is all this possible? You might be wondering, Casey, how is all of this possible? Well, it's possible because they're just all copying the same repeatable system that you're about to see. And this is the exact formula that myself and all of the other students have been using. If you look at Toby, he goes, I feel like I can get any girl I want if I play my cards right. And he's maintaining frame, and these chicks are hitting him up on text messages, pursuing him left and right. So our results don't matter. That's what you got to remember. It doesn't matter if we got success with this or not. The question you should be asking yourself is this: can these tactics be handed off to the average man and work perfectly so that he can get insane results with women also?
Kane, take notes.
You need to be asking yourself, can this work for you? Now, this will be a fast-paced training, so we need you to take notes. Get out a notebook, get out a pen and paper, get comfy, get cozy, and get ready to obtain this information so you don't forget it. And also turn off your phone. Okay, one of the things that men fail with is the ability to focus. And if you've even checked your phone up until this point, that's going to tell you something. Because if you actually want to get a hold on this, on your dating life once and for all, you're going to focus. Now, we also need you to close out of all other windows out of your computer. We don't need distraction. Like I said, we need laser focus. Because MBT is a system that you need to understand step by step or it doesn't work. That's why we need all the stars aligned and we need your undivided attention for this broadcast. Do we have a deal? Good. Now, these guys who have success with this are the ones who can actually focus. Okay, they can actually put the head down, nose to the grindstone, and go. And we can only help you like we've helped all of these other men here if you stay until the very end of the training. So we need you to watch the entire video training, okay? Because all of these guys that you're seeing in here who have been generating hot and sexy women at all times, they get results by staying until the end. Because if you only have half-ass information, you're going to get half-ass results. If you want full information, you need full results. So if you want hot women hitting you up like this, then you're going to want to stay until the end of it. Otherwise, this was all pointless.
But can I get
you can essentially just kiss that tight, hot little ass goodbye. Because now you don't have all of the steps to make this work.
Women are women.
Other guys did. If you stay until the very end, we will give you the entire attraction checklist as a downloadable bonus. So that way you can literally just plug these direct tactics into your life and just go. Okay, if you stay till the end, we have tracker software on this for who attends. Everybody who stays until the finish line, you get this downloadable bonus that we're going to completely just give to you, and you can instantly just use these. And your bonus will be sent to your email inbox in a few days. So just be patient. It will come. We have it all on autopilot. We'll make sure you get it. And I will also be doing some live Q&A at the end to answer the most commonly asked questions in the chat. So that way everybody's covered on what they're wondering, and some of the most frequent questions we keep getting we're all going to address. Now you're probably wondering, why are we about to share all of these insane secrets to understanding women and becoming a man that can get any woman he wants? Well, I'm about to show you.
Because you
want
to help out the homies.
Ooh. We have 2 reasons and 2 reasons only. You got to understand, I achieved the dream life when it comes to my dating and with my sex life. I've been able to make sure that the women that come into my life are hooked. I'm able to make sure they don't pull back or go cold on me, and I'm able to get the same amount of success that I want every single time with women that I actually have high attraction and high interest in. And I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, but I'm showing you this so that way you understand specifically why I've been able to flip my life in a total 180 when it didn't always used to be like this. Because the tactics I have been using through the years turned out to be bulletproof. And I've been using it for years now to essentially just get any girl that I want. And the crazy truth is that you're going to be able to copy and paste these exact tactics into your life. Now here's the deal, fellas. Men have been shoving oogles of money down my throat for years to teach them these secrets. Bro, and I'll be honest, absolutely there was some financial incentive for me involved to help them out. But right now what I'm focused on is I'm solely focused on bringing value on this call. If you're on this webcast with me, I'm specifically going to make sure all of the value is delivered, because we used to do this training only 1 week per year in person. And you can see at one of our mastermind events, we actually hosted this. And guys were getting success, but we've never actually brought it on a live event until now. Now remember, Dalton, he got this in 33 days. Okay, this is from literally just plugging this MBT system into his life, and girls like this directly come into his life, so that way he's the one in control. It works with any guy, and he's actually getting hot, attractive women now. And we boiled everything down to a repeatable
Dalton, big
homie.
I gotta learn from him.
And if you want this blueprint, like I said, you need to stay until the very end of this, because we cover everything from the approach, the attraction, the cell phone, how to make sure that she doesn't pull back, how to make sure that she craves you.
What if her dad got a gun?
So what are the 2 reasons that I just said? Well, there's 2 reasons and 2 reasons only. The first reason is that since I had success, I've now made it my life mission to help others attract their own dream life when it comes to sex lives and dating, and making sure that men have a good instinctual attraction with women. And these secrets that have only been shared one-on-one, I'm going to be sharing today. And the second reason is that I've also been put through the ringer with women. And I've seen my own parents divorce. Okay, not only have I been through multiple heartbreaks myself, I've also watched what happens when a man has no idea how to control his relationship. And when I watched my own parents split, I took a vow and I told myself I would never make the same mistakes that 99% of men make today. Because if you look at the results 99% of men get, they virtually have none. So we have to make sure we get 1% man results. And that's what the point of MBT is to give you a secret that only 1% of men know about. So this event is really just the cliff notes, because I isolated the key factors to having mega success with women fast. And this is a new method that has virtually never been brought to the surface until today. And we're going to present all of them to you here today. And these attraction secrets will make women fantasize about you, and they are so stealth that I'm even expecting backlash for some of this, but I simply do not care. Okay, because this is really going to help a lot of men on this broadcast. So I guess it's probably best if you know the real Casey Zander, because I promise he is not as cool as he sounds.
Be dead ass right now.
You see, I was just like you. I was awkward. I was timid. I was nervous as fuck with women my whole life. And not only that, I grew up with no prior success at all.
Just teach me how to get the women.
I was the guy that never went to prom. I never had my first kiss until I was 19 years old. I was a virgin until I was 20. I was nervous, shy, and awkward with women my whole life. And not only that, I really hated that I could never even escape my own head. And this takes a lot for me to admit. Like, it's really hard for me to go back to the past and show you how timid and weak and terrible with women that this guy was, but this is me, this was me, and deep down this is me, and I had to actually learn this system to fix these things. Plus, my parents split when I was young, and I had zero guidance of what to do when it came to women. Okay, not only did my dad never actually guide me in any way, shape, or form,
I'm just watching
this. His own marriage,
this
and
is like
as you can see by my mom and dad splitting, like this is near and dear to my heart. But
the chat is
I'm
full of
deliver
bots.
You this content anyways.
Because I know
was
for a
that
fact
guy
real life
that
people
didn't
be
know how to
reacting to the
approach
shit that
women
he's
or
saying
attract
right
them. I was always getting friend zoned or caught in just these 30-day snap streaks on Snapchat with no
And
date.
I love how Bob
I was
repeated the
addicted to
same
porn
thing
or
that he just
masturbation
said.
because really that was my only form of female intimacy, was some synthetic sex in a computer screen. And I was always left for another man if I did get in contact with a woman. And not only that, I could never really figure out why she would always pull back or go cold on me. And as you can probably imagine, it did not feel too good. Okay, that shit cut like a knife, and it still kind of stings today. And since my dad never taught me anything, like I was so stuck. Like as you see, like that is even a picture from me when I was real young at 18. I go, fuck my life, because I had no control over what I was doing. And my mom would tell me to just be a nice guy. You know, be a nice guy. Women will just like me for me. But yet I still had massive social anxiety. And I couldn't even talk to a woman, let alone seduce her. And I wasted hours on Tinder and hours on Snapchat and fucking Bumble, just wasting my life away because I had no idea what I was doing. And I fantasized, about hot women like this my whole life. But the fact is that in real life, I had no chance in hell to even make any of this happen. And there I was, just stuck to a screen the whole time. And that was my only form of getting women. And the truth was that there's a huge difference between being a good guy and an attractive man. And as you can see, like, that's my mom. I was raised to be that nice guy. I was raised to have nice guy syndrome from the standpoint when I was young. And that was what was killing me. Okay, I didn't have the tools in the tool belt to get the women that I needed. And I was always dumped or cheated on every single time.
There's literally bots in the chat, my dude. It doesn't get worse than this.
And not only that, I just felt like there was nothing I could do about it. And this picture sums up specifically how I felt. It's like, yeah, there I was. My heart is so big, and she can't ride that. She's out doing the things that I always wanted to do with all of the other guys, and I was sitting there jealous, wondering, why can't I be them? And this happened all while hating every single second of going out, because I knew that deep down, the sheer thought of even speaking to a woman would scare the living hell out of me. And I used to think, what if I run out of things to say? What if I make an absolute total fool out of myself?
This is a life lesson I'm gonna give you,
her friends end up hating me, and then I'm stuck there, and I can
miss
never
100% of the shots you do not take.
Attract the woman, and I can never have the sex life that I wanted.
The worst thing she can do is laugh in your face or throw something at you.
Okay, and this is what happens when a man has massive
and if you're interested in her, if you're even like spending time with her, obviously you have to be at least comfortable talking to her.
You see, I never knew how to actually get the upper hand, and women always had the power over men, and I just could never understand how to get out of that box. And I remember being so feminized, so lover boyish, so beta-tized that I took 4 weeks to do a charcoal sketch of a teddy bear for a girl that I liked, and I wrote her a poem, and she literally laughed in my face.
Bruh, me too!
Walsh, part of our blueprint
Alright.
He goes, the pickup industry focuses on outer game. Obviously, this doesn't work when you're screaming for mommy inside and collapsing into a fetal position. And this is specifically me. It's like, I thought I had all of the knowledge and all the information on what I had to do. In real life, I couldn't apply anything because this is what
use that lotion
looked like for me. I felt like a big fucking loser.
Get some Gold
because
Bond,
I was spilling my seed, giving my seed away every night to a computer screen with my left hand and a bottle of Aveeno. And I will never forget the pain I went through in 2013, the time I was so humiliated that my friends literally had to convince girls to come and talk to me because I was so shy to say anything. And I was at the point to where I went years of my life without even saying hi to a woman or flirting or even getting a hug from a girl, that when my dude friends convinced these girls to talk to me, they even made it a big deal and they made them take a picture with me, because that's how big of a deal it was that Casey finally stood beside a woman. And you can see my face is beet red and I'm nervous as hell because I just never had this under control. Now, fellas, you got to ask yourself, which pill are you going to take? Are you going to take the red pill, the truth of female nature, or are you going to take the cotton candy coated blue pill of the lies that I was fed? Now, this is a reference to the Matrix, but you're going to see what this means. If you choose blue, I need you to stop watching this right now and just X out. Because this webinar is legitimately a waste of your time, and you can choose to keep believing all of the bullshit lies about women that the world has fed you. And
he
this
was
webinar
like
will
us,
not
right?
suit you
He ain't get no type of
I was fucking tired of pretending.
They ain't mess with him.
Okay, the truth was that my life was not what I wanted it to be, and I needed to do something about it. Because just look at me, like everything about me screamed low value.
It's funny
because
what's it called?
If you pick the red, then this webinar is exactly for you. Because I'm going to show you exactly how to transform into a pussy slaying machine, even if you aren't rich or not handsome or get nervous and run out of things to say.
Homie, from the pirate scheme working, bro. He getting under my skin.
Like, Grant weighs 130. So don't go telling me like, oh, it's all about how muscular and how big
even though it's like fake, he's like using like real examples
that are hitting him up.
Yeah, it's bots.
He's using MBT to specifically fix.
Because I'm telling you, a real chat, they would literally be talking right now.
That I went down instantly. I thought every time, oh, I just need more information. I need another YouTube influencer. I need another podcast. I need another channel to watch. I need one more thing to fill my brain with. But guess what? After all of these hours of information, I never took action on anything. And I left more confused. Okay, not only that, I was now filled with a bunch of facts and a bunch of opinions, but I could not execute anything in real life. What good is a bunch of info and a bunch of facts if you can't actually execute anything? The fact is that there is no use in that. And this made me feel like I wasted a whole bunch of time because I watched endless amounts of content, you guys. Like, I was subscribed to all the podcasts.
Hey, you had a successful pirate scheme
laser locked
because
in my head,
you didn't have women distracting you.
And I had problems. Oh, let me tell you, I had problem after problem after problem. Let me explain. The first problem, I assumed that the only way I could get a woman interested in me is if I was rich to raise her attraction. Because let's face it, this is what TV and Facebook and Instagram and everything, it appears as if this is what women really care about. And as a man, since I virtually had no provisioning power in my life, I just assumed that a woman probably wouldn't think I had much to offer. This is my first problem. I didn't have that sort of financial status that I needed, or that I thought I needed, so to speak. The second problem, I assumed that in order to get women that I wanted, I actually had to be extremely tall and extremely good
6
looking.
feet
and
tall.
I always heard about the 5'6"s. You know, oh, Casey, you got to be 6 feet tall. You got to have a 6-figure income. You got to be 6 inches in the pants. You got to have a 600
inches in the
horsepower
what?
car. You got to have 6-pack abs. And since I was brainwashed by this mainstream media, I obviously thought all this. Like, obviously I thought this is what everybody said.
Bro, I'm not even a grown man yet and I passed 6 inches.
So I was under this trap because, as you can see, I wasn't tall and I wasn't good looking. And guys, don't get me wrong, being tall and good looking will obviously help. However, I was not either of these. Okay, so I actually needed something else that would totally help me level the playing field.
Bro, I've seen people who look like dirt.
And the third problem is that I thought that women only like guys who were famous
like
or had
actual
wild
dirt.
charisma.
I would look at the
Because
ground,
look
look
at these guys
back.
in Hollywood,
What the fuck?
amazing charm, captivating personalities. I didn't have any of it. And guys, I'm honestly trembling as I'm talking about this right now because it brings back so many memories from back when I had no control of my sex life. I felt humiliated and stuck. I felt like a little bitch of a man. And basically, like I said, nobody wants to admit that they actually
don't
need
care
help
no
in
more.
this
Just
area.
become a punk.
It seems very weak.
Once you become punk,
poor
it's
for a
like
man
let
to
it
do this,
take
but I had to do this to get help. The fourth problem, I was constantly in information mode trying to figure out women, but I could never put anything in action. So I had YouTube syndrome, and I had YouTube syndrome bad. I binge watched all these videos, and I would stay up for hours, hour after hour, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, watching all this stuff. I would wake up, it was Groundhog's Day, and every day was the same. That was the exact rabbit hole I went down every single time. Plus, more problems just kept adding up, okay? If I did meet a woman, I was always friend-zoned, or she would always hit me with the words like, Casey, I just love you like a brother. And I'm sitting there thinking, whatever the fuck that means. Okay, and more problems just came. If I did escalate with a girl,
I'm trying to touch you,
I always had performance anxiety, or I would come super fast, or I couldn't get hard. And half the time, I couldn't even have sex for the fear of blowing my load, which was another step of total embarrassment. So it's like, here I am. Now I can't really talk to girls. I don't know how to text girls. I get friend zoned. And then occasionally, if I do get lucky, now I'm fearful of even sex because I come fast. It's like this just kept piling on. It was nonstop problems, problem after problem.
Hello?
And while it seemed as if everybody had socialized and could attract women
like a
at any time, I was always
would
the
that
one
not
at the short end of the stick. And any attractive woman I would ever see, my heart would be pounding out of my chest. I'm trying my absolute best to avoid eye contact at all costs. I had no idea why I could never escape my head, and I could hardly even work up the courage to even text a woman. And I literally went through a quarter of my entire life without ever getting a hold on this. And there I am, just slaving away, just doing the exact same thing everybody else was doing with no success. And I was focused on getting laid 24/7,
my side is loud as fuck. I
could not even walk up to a woman and say hello, alone with no control every single night. And it was actually hell on earth. Because you got to realize the male body craves two things at all times.
Here,
the first
turn
is
up your
survival.
mic. I think it's
just
your mic.
Basic living needs need to be met at all times.
Check Discord.
The second is reproduction. The body wants to procreate. The body wants a hot woman to be with. That's just natural. And I was under a trap.
My body like them
because
women.
Deep down, the feeling of inadequacy or nervousness and anxiety kept me so stuck. And it just goes to show, like, when you look at Mike T, he's literally an anesthesiologist. He's a great example of this. He should have been the guy that had all the rock-solid confidence, all of the provisioning power, all of the things that a girl should be drawn to with his sports car and everything like that, and it just wasn't working for him. Women were leaving left and right. These were the lies that men have been fed and that have not been working for anybody. And I wanted hot women and attraction skills used at any time, and the ability to make sure if I did attract one, she didn't want to leave me. Because that's crucial. Like, let's say I do actually attract one, how do I make sure that she doesn't want to leave and she doesn't stray? This is what I needed. But to do this, I had to change. Okay, I literally could not take it anymore. I was so sick and tired of feeling like a weak, helpless little man that the amount of pain I was in from being alone every single day felt as if I was absolutely worthless. And I had to ask myself, like, okay, Casey, what is the alternative? Like lifelong unhappiness and inconsistent sex to watching porn with no control of my dating life? And I told myself, come hell or come high water, I would fix this. Today's the day, and I'm putting my foot down, and I will fix this. Now, there were a few benefits to all of this failure I was going through each day, because week by week, month by month, my subconscious mind was essentially learning what not to do. And there wasn't a chance in hell I was going to give up, so I reevaluated. Okay, this is how I felt attraction should be deep down. Deep down, I thought it should be an easy, straight line process. You got a guy, he wants a girl. Should be a straight line process. He should go get that girl and the attraction should be met. So here's what I did. I hopped on Tinder. I hopped online. I put in so much time always waiting for a reply. And many times what would happen is I could only get a Snapchat. And then I would be hoping and praying for a fucking ad back so I can eventually just
I can like at least attempt to get women in real life.
Snapchat inbox is already flooded with fanboys like this. And I would eventually just
on
give
text,
up,
I don't know how to like message
Bumble.
people.
Now I hop on a different app and then I'm sitting on another app going, oh man, maybe this will work. Great, maybe she'll message me first. And keep in mind, fellas, I still had no balls or the ability to talk to any woman in real life. I'm just solely focused on online right now, and I mean it kind of works.
Yeah, like it's hard to make a joke off the top.
As you can see, this is just one random Tinder meetup from Halloween where I happened to get lucky, but in the long run, I could never compete because of this one thing right here. Her entire inbox.
I'll go up to girls. I'm like, hey, you got change for something stupid or like some dumbass
and on Tinder. And I'm sitting there going, okay, so how
like
the
just
fuck
an excuse to like need their assistance, but not also like be fucking needy. How am I supposed
to separate myself from them? I had no idea what to do. And then I would just give up and go back to this. This is the one thing that I hated.
It's not a competition.
The whole process having synthetic sex to an artificial screen again. And this pissed me off because I knew that this was my only option. And me repeating and going back to this just led to feeling even more broken. And I realized to the absolute core, this is what I was.
Bruh, I've only been beating it because school is closed. Isolation.
To cope with women. And what is sad is that this whole lifestyle legitimately felt normal. Like, it felt normal, you guys, to do all of this weird shit. To be addicted to all of these things.
Liquid courage.
To a woman, which should be the most natural thing, felt the most weird out of everything. And on nights I would try and go out, it was always just a shit show because this is what would happen. What should have been the straight line process, have a guy make sure there's attraction in the middle to get the girl. What should have been simple was always drastically overcomplicated because now you have alcohol until blackout and loud music and all this bullshit in between. And it's like my focus would be so blown. There's no way I could even get to the girl. And I'm supposed to try and flirt and buy drinks
if you drink to the point where you can't comprehend what's happening around you, you're just
I feel super awkward. I could never show any sexual intent or escalate the interaction. And every time it felt like I was sitting there playing.
Because like you can't drive yourself home.
Casey, what do I say next? And what would pop into my brain is this. I go, oh, I just need another shot.
Like they just frame people for murder.
As if more alcohol will fix this. Just another shot of tequila, another shot of whiskey, another beer. Then I'll be enough. Then I'll be able to say the right thing. Then I'll have that confidence.
You wake up
could not be anything further from the truth. Because this happily ever after on the left. This nice guy that I was who just wanted the white picket fence lifestyle and a girl to just like him literally just turned into multiple heartbreaks in a row. Hours online fishing for dates, 5 Christmases in a row, looking like a complete fuck up when all my relatives look at me going, what is wrong with you? Like, why are you here on Christmas again with nobody? Why are you still single? And me sad and alone, nervous to even talk to a woman.
I'm playing with the
money. I could feel this world shifting because if I kept playing this game thinking that a girl would just fall into my lap, I started to understand that this world is different and what I thought the world was going to be when it comes to women.
I'm not even worried about women right now. I'm just like,
opposite. And the likely reward was this. Virtually nothing if I kept doing the same thing. The same apps, the same games, the same bullshit, the same websites, the same requests that she has from 100 different dudes. I was so stuck. And these apps and these phone games were supposed to be the easy
you understand, it's harder in New York where they like gang bangers and like they be like throwing, skipping class. And I'd be like, alright.
And I kept losing with women automatically no matter
Why would I want my wife
broker
than me to the point where like
because these internet gurus that kept me stuck knew everything, but I could never take action. What you want to do is you want to watch and learn and listen from this guy, because Jared was known in my city to get any girl he wanted, and he was so average. He was so normal. He was so just like me. He was the type of guy that I had to find and I had to listen to.
I'm about to say, bro, Jared looked like that. I'm about to go outside right now.
Do the things that I wanted to do. Yet virtually he never flaunted or acted like he knew it all.
Put my thumb up, bro. Come here now.
Jared and figure this out. Because I was sitting there thinking, why was Jared just an average Joe like anybody? But yet women were literally fighting for his time left and right. Because you got to realize,
what job does Jared have right now? That's all I want to ask you.
He was not wearing Supreme or Gucci.
I'm telling you, he's working
he was just
at
an average guy living
flipping
paycheck
burgers.
to paycheck. And it was even to the point where his credit card would get declined on dates, and he would have to switch cards right in front of the woman, and she did not care. I was on a mission to find him because it seemed as if he was fearless at all times. Because he could approach any girl he ever wanted.
This is why you shouldn't be like him. You just explained why. His credit card was literally being canceled on the date.
And the times when I would have been questioning what to say and feeling awkward or about to shit my pants, he was calm and never in his head. And by the end of it, he had this woman eating out of his palm every single time, and he could sleep with whoever he chose. Yet he never made any blatant moves that most would cringe at, and it almost was as if women had no control of just falling in love and they would be hooked on
the richest people are like the hardest people like women can like convince to do
because
shit.
He was so average. Like he literally was so average, yet they all wanted him. And this is what I thought.
Girls, like I'm telling you, they have a harder time with people who actually make a lot of money.
Down my throat left and right. Yet he didn't.
Like, you won't find Jeff Bezos like
I didn't
surrounded by a lot of like
strippers and shit. The reality was that
you won't
I
find
just
Elon
wanted
Musk
to get a girl
getting
and
like
be
buried in like
to women. Okay, and actually have a process that worked every single time without being nervous, without her feeling like I was just hitting on her like all the other guys. Like something that stuck, something that actually worked.
That's another thing about like YouTube. You don't have financial like security.
Because I didn't need to be some pickup artist whiz kid. Okay, I just needed to know
like with
how
a
to
basic
be that
job,
guy
you're basically required. Like
to
you
get the
have
girl
to
when
get
I was
paid for
into
the
her, and I really just wanted that stability and comfort that would come
but
from
like on
me
here,
knowing
it's like
deep
it's
down
no
that I was
guarantee.
enough for a woman on the inside and out. And I always felt like I had so much to offer, but the fact is that I just never had the opportunity to actually show
like that's
my
why they
heart.
like they
And
lose
when
their
I would
minds over
see
YouTube because
that
if they
pretty girl,
lose
my
this,
brain
they're
would
fucked.
always register one thing. It would say, "Hey Casey, don't approach." And you know why? It did that because I knew damn well that
like
I
your
was
life
not
is on the
good
line
enough,
by random people
which
on the
led me
internet.
down a road that felt like absolute eternal hell. And this white picket
Like you
fence
grow
life
up onto
that was
them because
failing
like
me
they're like your
so
fans and stuff,
miserably
but at the
each
same
and every
time,
day. I
it's
was
like
sitting
no
there like,
security.
okay, Casey, when do I get to breathe? When do I actually get to feel comfortable as a man in my own skin? When will I finally be able to
And them
not
too,
feel
they're like
awkward and
kids, bro.
trapped
They
in
ain't
my
making
own
money.
head?
They ain't making less
When
money
will I
than
be
you.
able to know exactly what to say to a woman without her pulling back on me? When will I get to be that guy that she can't
I forgot
wait
what
to
the fuck
text
he's
back? When do I
talking
get to
about?
become that guy that she can't stop
Like,
thinking
I'd
about
rather
and
just
not a
walk
big
outside
loser?
and
The questions
try
just
my
kept
luck.
piling on. I'm sitting there, I'm like, why am I the one always chasing? Why are women never in my inbox first?
Shooting
What
dice,
is it about
yeah.
me that makes me
Gamble
feel
with my
inadequate
pride, yeah.
24/7? And I'm sitting there going, will I be the guy that just shows up to Thanksgiving solo again every single year, or am I just a total pussy?
Why do you
I wanna be
care
that smooth
whether or
guy
not
that
you're
knows
showing up
exactly
solo to
what to say and how to
Thanksgiving?
say it to make sure I have the dating and sex life that I always wanted. But the fact is, I had absolutely no idea what to do, not even a clue. And the breaking point was this, okay? I thought I was doing everything right, and I was focusing on myself just like everybody told me to do, and then she came along, and we won't put names on who she is, but she was the perfect dime of a girlfriend of what I thought would be a perfect fit. And I treated her like an absolute princess, just like I was always taught. And then one day out of the blue, bam, I get a text that says,
to
"Hey,
like
we need to talk."
60%. So
And
that's
that
good
was the
enough.
last day that I saw her. And I was in absolute
Homie got
agony.
lazy on the
I
job.
realized that my whole life I was fed nothing more than an absolute lie. And I thought I
Just
had it
work
all under
hard,
control,
get
and I
skills.
still failed. Okay, I treated her with the respect, and I was there to support her at all times, and she still pulled back, and she still left.
I'm telling
And I
you,
was sitting
like,
there thinking, I cannot keep suffering like this. But you
if
see,
I cared
tried.
more about women,
Like,
I would
really
just
tried the
easily like
safe,
pull women.
correct,
It's not that hard. It's
chivalrous
just
way
the
first.
fact
I was
that
raised to be that nice
when
and
you're like,
respectful guy.
you have to have
I
a certain
tried to be sweet
mindset.
to every single girl every single time, and it turned
Hey,
into
bruh.
massive social anxiety and me being awkward in my own skin. Plus now I was back solo, square one, single again, having no idea what to do. And the
Hey, why do you think I'm on this video? I gotta get off the hub.
I knew deep down how much I had to offer. Meanwhile, she was always out sucking and fucking the bad boy, and everyone else around me seemed to have all of this figured out except for me. And the breaking point was this.
I'm about to get that as a ringtone.
All of my beliefs that society put upon me of what I thought made women attractive were so wrong. Because I had every single nice guy syndrome mentality completely ingrained in me from the ground up. And after
I would like do shit for girls, like in front of other people too. Like, if you ask for my help and you're my friend, I'm like, alright.
What I wanted, the road that I was following simply was just
like, if I don't know you don't fuck with me. I'm gonna be like, alright. I'm gonna be a little iffy about it.
Was this? I was sitting there thinking, okay, I can play the machine like everybody.
Like, I ain't gonna be a dick,
playing the
but
same
at the same
dating
time,
game as 99%
it's like
of
that
other
general
men.
respect.
Spend the next 20 years chasing love, hoping I find quote unquote the one, just like everybody else. Or I can try
How long
to play
has
a 1%
this been?
game.
41 minutes. I'm about to run out of storage
for myself, but I was willing to take it on anyways. And I knew that if I took the bull by the horns and I will just fix it,
I'm not even gonna edit this video. I'm just gonna slap it.
And the path that kept escalating my failure was this. I
I'm looking about to run out of storage. I'm not even gonna hold you.
The 30s will turn into the
41
40s.
minute of
The 40s
video
will turn into the 50s, and pretty soon you're dead. Okay, then you're dead and you don't get a second crack at life. And no amount of heading down this road would get me to where I wanted to be. And when I looked in the mirror and I realized that, everything started to change. So I thought, fuck it. I'm going to lay out all of my cards and I'm going to find Jared. And I will risk embarrassment even admitting this stuff to him, and I will just take care of this because I needed his help. So summer of July 2017, I saw him in the background of a Snapchat story having the absolute time of his life as usual, flirting up some women as usual, and I knew the exact bar and I went there immediately. Okay, I offered to pay him to teach me, and at first he literally laughed in my face as if I was joking. But after a while, he could literally tell I was in some serious pain, and thank God he came through for me, because I made it my mission from that day forward to learn it all, to make sure that I never
I know you're struggling with women.
Again.
Let's just go.
And I needed to understand true female dynamics. Okay, not Hollywood's version that's broken, but the absolute truth.
But the number one thing is like how hard he's like coming at women just sexually.
I sure as hell was not going to.
I don't care about that, bro.
Because this is
if I can't just vibe with you, why would I date
each and every weekend with no proven plan to get women? They were using Snapchat or Tinder or
like some
left on
model,
just like myself, just like
like your average local
and they have
at
been
the
through
store
many
girl.
Heartbreaks just like me. Yet when
not
I told
like
them I was
goddamn
models,
models
a different thing, they still
yeah,
laughed at me
sex
for doing
worker,
it this way. But yet
models
this
and
was them.
shit.
And let me tell you about
Literally,
the fucking awesomeness that came to my eyes that I witnessed that night. It turns out Jared
I don't want my dick
majored
to
in
literally catch
psychology
flame
and understood exactly how to bypass a woman's logical brain and get her emotionally hooked every single time. And when I would watch him work his magic, it was almost as if the girl he was talking to was brainwashed and instantly addicted to him. Okay, if he left to go grab a drink or talk to another person, she would be following him around like an absolute puppy dog, and I could not fucking believe it. And from that day forward, I was legitimately a scientist in a lab. Like a goddamn sponge just sucking everything up. I wanted all the
spiritual
training, I wanted all the principles. I wanted to know exactly everything that he knew from the inside and out. And I thought I can either struggle learning these new ropes, or I can keep struggling with being absolutely terrible with women. The choice was on me. And I realized the longer I waited
she walk around
to
the house
actually
naked,
learn
bro,
these
you know
secrets that it actually takes to make women addicted, the more I guaranteed my own failure. Because as you can see, if you chunk your life into about 3 segments, into thirds, I was about 25, and if I go from 25 to 50 to that next third, and then 75, by then I'm dead.
That's where they
I was
appreciate
never gonna
you,
waste
bro.
another 2/3 of my life making these exact same mistakes I already made in the
Bro,
beginning. And this
we
is
just
what he
wasted
sketched
like
for me.
almost
He
an
showed
hour of
where
our
I am
lives.
now compared to these hot women that I want. And then he showed me exactly
Yeah,
where
like
my
what
block
are the
is.
methods?
Most
Homie
men
said
think
go
that they
get a
need more
book and
money, they
pencil.
need
I
bigger
did.
muscles,
It's
they're
nothing for me to
scared,
write
or they're
down.
nervous, or they're insecure. So this block
Bruh, I
prevents
have
them from
muscles,
going directly
and
to
I'm
the hot
tall,
women.
so
what they
not
do is they go
like
this
to me.
long, ridiculous route. Okay, they think they
I'm
need
like
better
6
game,
foot.
quote unquote, and attracting women is actually probably hard, is what they think. And then they try going to the gym for 6 months, yet that man is still stuck in his head and can't make any sort of advancements when it comes to his attraction.
Work
and then
harder.
that man might even take more months and tries to make more money or try to appear like he has this lifestyle. And guess what? Then he maybe will get some success with women, or he maybe doesn't, because this stuff takes eternity. And the truth is that women don't give a shit about this. What we had to do is we had to remove this block. And he told me why men think that game actually matters. Okay, men think this because game gurus confuse men.
I mean, like, if you start just drooling or
faked. And a guy can have all of these tactics.
Oh, I hate
the fact is that if he can't escape his own head and learn her energy, he is screwed. And then when guys actually try this stuff and it fails, they think
if you can't at least get it to like laugh or something, then you're
doing it the wrong way. Jared taught me that the key is to realize that interacting with women is a game of chess. Okay, so we learn how to actually polarize masculine energy to keep her in a feminine role 24/7. And then we learn the steps to female psychology to know what she will say before she even says it. And by doing this, understanding what women look for in a guy, aka not money, not height, not driving the Lambo, is what's going to make her tick. And Matt Strong used this. This is why he said the words finally just flowed like water. He learned this 1% tactic. This is why Michael Walsh earlier said to us, he goes, most of these other tactics you can't even use without approaching her and on the inside screaming for mommy and collapsing into a fetal position. It's because most men are applying tactics to a broken man. And that essentially becomes like putting a band-aid on a broken leg. We must actually fix the man first. And when you do this, rapid success is key and it's guaranteed. When Doug did this, he goes, Casey, I can't thank you enough. I got my first date.
The only introvert thing works for is women.
The phone with her. And Doug went from literally never going on a date ever to success.
Yeah, like they can be introverts.
This is what Jared told me why men think money matters. Hollywood and social media tells men that this is literally the end-all be-all.
Those people just got lucky, like they're in Hollywood and stuff. They just got a lucky break.
Attraction.
Like they're not realizing all the other like millions of people who didn't get that break and who are still like struggling.
And they don't get any sort of results. And guys actually think this is real life. Like guys.
Think about someone that's famous. I'll say like Johnny Depp. Think about all of his classmates, all the people around him in the industry that didn't get that role.
You might be thinking, Casey, why do you keep showing Mike? Because $1 million a year and a really high-paying job like an anesthesiologist that should be high status and should be well respected, like this should be to where he should have had it all. But the fact is that it wasn't. It was not working for him. When you understand the key steps to actually seduce a woman, you realize that
not seduce, at least talk to them. At least get to the point where you're making conversation.
He's having fun learning all of this now because he realized he focused on the wrong things throughout his entire life. And Jared was in so much debt from school
my dude's not understanding. It's not all about seducing the woman. Fuck sex. That shit can come later, bro.
Okay, he knew how to make a woman.
I'm trying to get my dick wet.
That woman's emotions tick. He would win every single time, hands
down. I just want someone to lay down with, bro.
You need to be good looking because Hollywood and Instagram and Facebook seems to only really show the best, and celebrities and models are idolized.
That's Arnold Schwarzenegger, bro. Get him off the screen. That's big homie. That's Terminator.
Is to be ripped. But the truth is that Angelina legitimately left
Arnold Schwarzenegger worked hard as fuck. That's not an example.
Because when men don't know how to keep their woman addicted, nothing can make up.
It's Channing Tatum.
Like fellas, look at this for a second.
No, I'm more focused on Arnold Schwarzenegger. Homie was a bodybuilder before he was an actor. He worked his ass off.
Just like most men are.
And then he used that and worked hard and became a whole star actor.
Simply just do not know how to put
that man worked his fucking ass off.
They simply don't know what she's thinking. And the truth is that if the man can truly remain as the type of guy that she's drawn to, he can stay one step ahead of her the entire time. This is specifically why John Seltman became the chooser, and this is why George had rapid success with this and flipped his dating life into a total 180. Because you see, right away, Jared was not a god with women. It actually happened to him by accident. So this was Jared's way out. Jared's way out was an old college professor. And this was before he was a genius with women. Because Jared was bored during a psych class one day, and his professor was a psychotherapist. And the professor had explained that he had been using MBT to actually rewire male patients' brains for years. And he found that higher dopamine levels in a man's
but they will lose so many friends. Like no one will talk to them.
And if you look at the animal kingdom, males who position
themselves have a boyfriend
have more options when it comes to mating. And when Jared put 2 and 2 together, he legitimately started to crack the code and realized that female humans respond almost the exact same way. Now the big question was this: would this actually work for an average everyday guy? And he was almost ready to put it to a test. Now this was his psych professor's way of describing MBT. Masculine behavioral therapy is a type of psychotherapeutic treatment that specifically helps men understand the thoughts and feelings that influence behaviors of females to have the best chance possible at navigating the sexual playing field. And less than 1% of men even know about MBT or have heard about MBT, and these are the patterns that influence a woman's short-term mating strategy strategy, as well as the patterns that influence a woman's long-term mating strategy. And what you can do is you can change destructive or disturbing thought patterns before approaching, and this will change and influence her behavior and her emotions to make her crave you. When Doug used this, he finally had dates lined up just like I showed you earlier. And when you influence her emotional brain and bypass her logical thought, men can now actually display the ability to appear pre-selected to women. These are the guys that appear at the top. Because at face value, fellas, women have absolutely no idea which men are pre-selected. And this is why they have to screen for guys that are versus guys that aren't. And the responses you give dictate what category she actually will put you in. And this is why some men get her panties dripping and can literally take her home within 15 minutes. And then there's other men that have to wait 5 dates and maybe get a peck on the cheek. Because here's the thing, women are literally like cats. This might sound crazy at first, but hear me out. If you put 4 cats in a room and you lay out 4 balls of yarn, this is what happens. If one of the cats, let's say, happens to go to the maroon ball of yarn, what happens is that all 3 other cats all go to the maroon ball of yarn. The reason why they all want the maroon ball is because that ball of yarn appears to be at the top with the most value. You see, the cats have no idea. They just go where the value is. And when a man can actually understand how to be the maroon ball, everything changes for him. The magic key to unlocking the panties off of dozens, even hundreds of beautiful, sexy women per year is to be the maroon ball. Because if one wants you, they all want you. And that man appears to be pre-selected in her eyes. And when one comes, fellas, they all come. Women are the same if you know how to position specifically using MBT. Now, the big connection was this. As most positioned themselves at the top as this loving guy, he realized that he just needed to appear as if women were already wanting him. And when Jared saw this, he went all in. So this was the big block remover, was the dominance hierarchy.
This thing is pissing me off now.
If you look at the chain of commands, we've
been here for almost an hour, and this man made all these slides. I don't know what he's talking about.
Kingdom was the ones with the most mating options.
I'm like losing brains because I literally picked up a quarter and started putting it through my knuckles.
Was that he was extremely dedicated to figuring stuff out. So when he put this to the test, he went through months of bullshit that
tell me the methods, bro. What do I gotta dress as?
And the problem was this: despite his professor having massive knowledge, he was skeptical because since his professor was older,
I'm telling you, I would if they said walk up to like the hottest girl and just spit some game and watch this shit, I would be already talking to her.
Would they be repeatable? And if it led to guaranteed sex, would it prevent them from pulling back after? There were really only a few chances left to figure this out. So he made a checklist. The first checklist was this: he used MBT techniques at a coffee shop.
Make Allah proud. Come to my
They
story.
flirted, they had a great interaction. He got the phone number, but when he tried to set the date, she flaked. Okay, the fail rater was on and wasted. Boom, he did not have any success. The second checklist came. He went to a bar in town that was known to have hot singles. He approached and hit her emotional hot buttons perfectly, and boom, he thought it was game on. Okay, she was breathing heavy, she was hot and turned on. She even said that her panties were soaked. And when it came time to go back to his place, she goes, maybe a different time. It left him wondering what the hell just happened, and boom, wasted. No success once again. Then the third checklist came. He found a group of gorgeous women at a club, and he started chatting them up and picked his target.
Said gorgeous women. I was on the one at the left, bro.
Okay, she was totally captivated. She even wanted to go home and sleep with him. They were grinding, making out on the dance floor all night, and the friends just wouldn't let her go with him. And he had no idea what to say or what to do. He felt like he was getting cock-blocked by the friends, and he had no idea how to handle it. Once again, boom, wasted. But like I said,
hey, bro, give me your number when your friends go to sleep.
Mega dedicated guy to figuring shit out when life throws him the curveball. And fellas, this was the end result. He realized that the response he was getting from each woman all had certain patterns. And he took note in a journal of everything that created a negative response and everything that created a positive response. Each negative response was putting him at the lower value in the woman's eyes on the hierarchy, and each positive response was putting him at the higher value in the woman's eyes on the hierarchy. And he compiled every positive response together, and there was an extreme trend with this. And he boiled this trend down to a new and improved exact checklist. And dating and sex was now boiled down to an exact science. And a miracle happened. It took 6 weeks to put this together, but women started hitting him up first, and he was sleeping with a new woman every single week, and when he approached, it was almost like they were instantly drawn to him, because he could now overcome any objection to the point that the girl's friends would want to fuck him too.
If you feel the urge to sleep with men, please act on it. Give me more women.
And a miracle happened.
Please act on your urges.
Right at the mall, and they had
I'm
sex
sorry.
He pulled this right from the list of only the things that the women responded positively to.
We gonna put our own flag.
He approached the hottest girl on campus that was known for
You'll hand him an elder scroll. Thanks for your allegiance to the cause.
That week. And then what happened is she raved to all of her friends about how much she liked him.
Literally, you saved lives today.
And now the friends were
give him a purple medal, bro.
And now he was using these tactics on all of them. And guess what? He pulled these right from the list of only the things that women responded positively to. And then girl number 3, there was a sexy barista at Starbucks. He got her number, and she was asking him to go out on a date.
Alright,
you might be gay.
The reason for this is because there was no flaw in manners, and there was no
I'll promote him to like gay lord,
bro. It was
bruh.
strictly business, and she wanted to see him and fast. And he pulled this right from the list, just like I said, of only the things that
I'll give him a reward. You are now promoted to gay lord, bro.
Every girl viewed him to be at the top of the food chain and was sexually aroused by his presence alone.
Top of the food chain? What is that? Eating them?
He can generate more sex and options in a week than he now could before the entire year.
I mean, a whole predator running on all fours, just raping.
Any woman views me as a sexual option, and he went from not knowing what to say to
he on top of the food chain. He's going rabbit.
And he was anxious, nervous, stuck in his head, but no more did that ever happen again. There was no more sex, and now he had
it's like Naruto when he goes Nine Tails. This nigga starts seeing an aura.
6 months later is when I met Jared, and my life changed forever. Okay, I now had women begging me to date them. And Friday and Saturday night became my fucking pleasure palace, because I never felt awkward when talking or approaching again. Because the whole saying, women are like cats, could really never be more true. When one wants you fellas, they all do. And he's been my wingman and friend ever since. So if you fast forward until now, we've been sharing these exact same secrets with men across the world. These men live the dating life of abundance without a sliver of doubt ever, and they wake up stress-free knowing that they can find a woman at the snap of their finger. And this comes from a place of rock-solid confidence in their dating life, because these men became the man that women just can't help but chase, because they're able to focus in on other areas in their life, because dating is now on autopilot. It's literally zero sexual pressure or stress, and all of these men started to crush it with women 24/7. And these are men just like you. There's a reason why Kristen D'Angelo said that, boy, did it pay off, this girl was all over me. Toby, who knows exactly what to say and has multiple women in chase right now. Or Adrian. He goes, I want to thank you so much for making me stick this out. It turned out to be the best decision in my life. Your program has completely changed my life, and it's unreal. So I have to ask you,
he just got lucky. A woman liked him, and he's like, oh, it's all his doing.
On point 24/7 without ever having another.
I've seen women like all types of people.
You have a predictable system of controlling your dating life with constant sex, and the ability to know exactly what to say.
I've seen women date cockroaches,
and the ability to make every interaction man to woman with clear sexual intent and control over emotions, so she craves you. And this is going to ensure that
homeless
she never
people be
pulls
pulling
back
like
or
baddies
goes
on like LA
Press
floors.
2 in the chat box if you would like that. 2.
Ain't no one but 2.
Let's get it. This is exactly what I was looking for. Jared's exact step-by-step blueprint to teach me exactly what to do at every single point.
Look at the chat. Ain't no one type 2, bro.
And this turnkey checklist is literally the dating unlock that all of the students have been using like never before, because now you get to skip this hard part. This big block remover that we talked about earlier, Jared's journey was hard as hell, but when we removed this block, not only did he get a grasp on everything, but he taught me, and he taught my life from the ground up.
Looking like Bakugo
because this is now the path that you will get.
Yeah,
you literally get to go directly to the hot women, plug and play, without any interferences and without anything ever happening. That's
just because I'm black, I focus so much on my stomach. I do not want a big ass dad gut.
It really only takes 3 keys to success, and
a
these
fucking
keys
dad
are the
gut.
only
Not
way
those
for
big
men
black
to get
dudes
the
and they
upper
stomach
hand
be
once and
extending.
for all. These keys get her emotionally invested, addicted to you,
I will starve myself before I get to that point.
To have that sex life you've always wanted. The first key is this: you have to understand specifically how to get her addicted to you. And the way an addict needs you, she needs you. The keys to maintaining seduction through each interaction.
Nice timing, big homie.
And wrap her deep in love from the beginning. And when you understand what she's thinking at all times, 24/7, to get the upper hand, men don't really understand that a woman's brain is completely opposite from a man's. And men
That's
who
cap.
can get the power over her brain is the one that she stays
over
up
her
late
brain.
at
What
night
is he,
thinking
fucking
about for
Magneto?
hours.
He
And
said-
this is
Professor
the
X?
blueprint that
He
1%
said
of
women's
men
brain are
actually
complete-
understand how
are
to
the
do.
complete
Because you have to get her
opposite.
to
I
pursue
think that is
you.
cap, bro.
And for men, guess what? Attraction is a learned skill. It's not a he's just born with it kind of thing. And women do not
I
want their
think you are
equal.
sometimes.
They want to be able to look up to a giant. Just like Beauty and the Beast, she wants her opposite. She wants her
What?
strong. She wants her polar.
Alright.
If we can't get her to
Yeah.
chase us, we're completely
Jeff.
screwed from the get-go. And this is why men get demoted to just
B-type
another
money.
dick in the inbox, is because they have absolutely no idea how to make
Answer
her
my
chase.
question.
When Brayson used this blueprint model,
It's
he
still
literally
typing
goes, bro, it
twos.
worked. I got this chick's number,
Alright.
and I didn't even have to
God,
nearly say anything, and she gave me the digits. It was effortless, and I was
Type in,
so
how do I
calm
pay
and
for
in the
this?
zone.
I
And that's
think it's
because
the
he
email.
literally just
I
followed the
think
exact
it's the email they
checklist on
sent
how
you.
to approach the correct way, so that way he can
Wait,
have
they sent me
success
an
with
email?
whichever women he
I
wants.
think, yeah, because in
And
the
the
beginning,
ability
remember
of
he
key
said we're
number
gonna send the
2
email.
is the
Oh,
ability
yeah, I
to
put in a
interact
fake
with
email.
men who are all using these
I
tactics
typed in an
as
email
well.
that didn't
Men on the
exist.
same journey,
Bro, I'm about to be
band
balling,
together,
bro.
and have a place to actually spot check each other's
Bro, we
work
should do
gives
this
them
every day. Like
force-guided
somebody makes a
feedback, because
fake,
this blocker
plenty of
mover in
fish
the
account,
middle
see
to
how
get
fast
to the
we can,
women
you know.
actually keeps men in a straight line. So that way they don't have to go through all these trials and tribulations and bullshit. They can literally just get to the dating life that they craved. And the ability to interact with
I'm
men
about
who
to
are
be
all
balling,
using these
Omar, I'm
tactics
telling you, bro.
specifically gives force-guided feedback. Because when you have a group and you have mentors, at any point, if you fall out of the system, you now have people to push you directly back into place at all times. Because most men just have no solid wingmen or other men to collaborate with who are also using NBT. Because the fact is that one brain is much weaker than dozens of brains together. And the goal is to get laid and have results forever, not just a short-term fix. Not just something fake that's only going to last for 30 minutes. We want lifetime results forever. And not only dating, you see this everywhere. The way Shaq needs Kobe, Kobe needs Shaq, Batman needs Robin, Robin needs Batman, Sherlock needs Watson, Watson needs Sherlock. It's all the same. Having the support of a wingman 24/7
Why is this so
keeps
long?
men together and
Can I
banded in strong
sleep?
unity. Because seriously, guys, like
Let him
nobody
spit,
succeeds
Omar.
in a
You have to
vacuum.
let him spit.
It's just not possible. When you
Bruh.
band together, there's strength in numbers, and there always has
Strength
been.
in
And then you
numbers.
just rinse and repeat
They're
the
gonna
process. When the
cock-block me.
pipes are clean,
They
we
finna
don't
jump
fuck with
your
the pipes.
girls,
My
bruh.
homie gonna
When the
spit game
system
at the
works,
girl
we
I'm
don't
spitting
fuck
game
with it.
at.
We make sure we stick it through and we keep
I'm just
using
gonna
it,
look at
rinse
him,
and
bruh.
repeat, and we spread the message with
What are
others.
you doing, player?
And the ability
Hang
to
in.
interact with
Move
men who are
on,
all
player.
using these tactics not only gives you a place to bounce ideas
end,
off
then.
each other back and forth,
But I'd
but it
make a
also gives
joke.
them
I'd
a
be
spot where
like,
they
I'd
can
be like,
collaborate
fur
and see
friends
what's
when I
working
pull
and
up
what
on you.
isn't. And when men all have the same idea, vision, mission, and principles that they abide by, this
Alright.
attraction becomes ridiculously push button. And key number
Okay.
3. Methods that any man can copy-paste into their life. Simplistic and results-driven focus. A simple, easy-to-use, step-by-step blueprint that is bulletproof. And tested and
Bulletproof?
proven under all circumstances with a breakdown of guided instruction to use
Homie
in any
pulled
location
up photos
or
off the
in any
Google
setting.
images.
And a way to specifically ensure that she's hooked under our spell, and the thought
Our
of pulling
spell.
back
I'm
or
a
going
fucking
cold on that
wizard,
man
Harry.
never even crosses her mind. And the reason for that is because we know exactly what to do to ensure that that happens. If you look at this third
Alright.
key, when George started using this, he goes, you know that you're having success in Blueprint when you don't even have to collab with anybody else. And he goes, unreal transformation. I now have a pipeline of pussy at my fingertips, he says in the second text message there. If you look at Chris, he goes, this program has already
El
saved
Chapo,
me from
bruh.
potential future heartbreak.
We
If you
tryna
look
get
at
like
Adrian,
bro.
he goes, I now feel prepared to finally go out on that date. These men are getting the women that they've always wanted.
Wait, she
And this
agreed
is
to
why
the
we
date?
use a
You just weren't
step-by-step
prepared for
blueprint, so
it?
that way
Hello?
we don't fuck up. Like, we want a repeatable
Fuck up.
process that gives
I
success
guess
with
we-
any
I guess
woman
he
that
was just
virtually
balling,
turns
Omar.
that
What
man
can I
into
say?
a one percenter
Just-
and gives
just
him a
throw in the
cheat
Prada
code, something
jacket,
any man
you know
can
what I'm
use
saying, the
step
Prada
by
suit.
step with guided framework and
Oh, he
guided
was just
instructions to
balling.
handle
Even
this
the devil
MVP
wears
training
Prada.
once and for all. Because what most men just simply
Swear
do
to
not
God,
understand
where's
is that
God when you
making
need
a
him, bro?
woman
He's
attractive is
masturbating
a
somewhere.
learned
You don't
skill.
strike
It's
this
not a
down.
quote-unquote he's just born with it kind of thing. Attraction can actually be learned. And when a man knows how to do these things, he
This
can
is
make
not
sure
how
that
you
he has
pirate
happiness
scheme.
and
You're giving
success
them too
forever.
much time
So
to
fellas,
think.
if this worked for a mama's boy like
Homie
me, and when I say
spitting,
that, I
Omar,
mean
you know that?
seriously, like it will work for you too. When
It's
it
been
flipped
an
my
hour.
life
You still
around
haven't asked me
180,
for
there's
my
a reason
credit
why
card. Are you
Vince did
throwing?
this in just 4 short weeks, why Cole did this in 21 days. It's because it literally is just plug and play success. So you got to ask yourself, how long until this massive problem of being fearful with women and not being fulfilled sexually is
You are
fixed?
fucked after
Because
that
you got to
last
ask yourself,
third.
will your genes carry on? Like you don't have unlimited
My
time to actually make sure
genes?
your genes carry on.
What is
If
bro
you chunk
talking
your life
about?
into thirds and
So
you
you just
live to
wanna
be
impregnate?
75, if you're somewhere on whichever block you're in, you're fucked after you hit that last third. And when I realized that and I put everything into perspective, I was like, okay, I need to handle this. I need to fix this once and for all because I deserve to feel like I'm attractive to women and can make sure I can make that happen. And you got to ask yourself, when will this stop being a behind closed doors embarrassment? When will you actually get to live the life that you fantasize about every single day? Sheets with synthetic screens
Homie said you got once you hit
that
that third of your life, you got to worry about procreation.
Now we gave you the cliff notes.
You run out of
Okay,
time.
Life is valuable, and
you run out of time.
That woman. But like I said, most just never take action. So the truth is that there's two options.
You're 20, bro. You run out of time.
So tell me, fellas, which option would you go with? Option 1 or option 2? Option 1, you can keep walking the minefield blind. You can keep doing random
you gotta
approaches,
find that
random
woman, bro. You got 10 years to make sure she's wife material.
That a girl will just quote-unquote come along. And that might get you some random success, or you'll probably never get the girl, never have the family, never be the father, never have the sex life.
23 to 35? Alright,
walking the minefield completely blind all by myself. That's option 1. Or option 2. You can take the right path from the men who walk the goddamn walk. You can give yourself every advantage possible. You can simply just get the map to the ground. You can take on a challenge armed to the teeth and have guides and mentors and support with you 24/7.
You don't have that much time. You gotta get her pregnant
get it
now.
right the first time. The goal is to have an amazing sex life and make sure women are hooked from the get-go. And these tactics can get you sex from amazing women without being friend-zoned, without her playing games, without her ever pulling back. She will be begging to be your girlfriend. Now remember, this is the exact system.
When she asks for a certain amount of kids, all you're thinking about is the process of
99% of men have never even heard of MBT, and I went from weak and fragile and heartbroken to being the chooser and being fearless and having repeatable success with any woman I want. So which option would you go with? Option 1 or option 2? Type in the chat box.
Wait,
option 1 or option 2?
The right path from the men who walk the damn walk.
A lot of 2s. Kenneth, you picked 1. Well, you can get
Kenneth, where's Kenneth? Where's
We're
Kenneth?
going with option 2. We want the map to the minefield, and we want to be armed to the teeth. Now, hold up. As promised, at the end of this, we will be giving you this free checklist. But like I said, you must stay. I don't want you to think this is going anywhere. But for those of you that picked 2, if I had such an opportunity for you to work with us to learn this MBT model directly, would you love that opportunity? Yes or no? Type 1 if no, type 2 if hell yes.
No.
2. I see 42s in 10 seconds. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. Everybody wants this exact step-by-step process. Well, right now, we're doing opening enrollment for the Masculinity Blueprint Accelerator 2.0. And this is where you're going to get every single opportunity to learn this MBT training system.
How much money?
For all.
Now, with the Blueprint Accelerator, you can see Christian says, I have been working on myself and my frame, and boy did it play.
The amount of money I'll probably give this guy is probably the amount of money it would take for me to actually get a woman in real life.
First, we apply all of the tactics. Second, that way the guy can go into it with the right way to actually attract these women. So what is the Masculinity Blueprint Accelerator? Well, fellas, this is the 4 fastest shortcuts to success with women once and for all. So what this is this is guided instruction. These are the proven shortcuts to get her addicted to you. These are the tactics to always get the upper hand. And it's the coaching and mentorship 24/7 to actually make love and attraction real again. This is the #1 best men's training program of all time based on results, with no bullshit, with no fluff, with no filler. The reason why we say based on results is because
I don't care about your hair color
and the success
what do you like?
It is literally the best proven program that has ever been invented on earth to help you attract women. So if you're a beginner, what you're going to learn, you're going to learn how to apply all of the tactics and figure out what gets women
attracted. She's like, I'm bald, my hair was black.
And how to make sure that she starts to pursue you the entire time to get her sexually attracted. And this is a literal step-by-step how to attract the girl you want and get her addicted. So if you're a beginner, you can check out Cole. He did this in a very short period of time. If you look at Matt, his verbal game was so strong. He's only 22 years old. He goes, with no hesitation at all, I sat my ass down next to 2 girls and struck up a combo. If you're a veteran, what we give is we give you the training to re-enter the field or to fix a struggling or past relationship. What we do is we teach men how to build a rock-solid foundation and re-enter the field with ease. And we give over-the-shoulder guidance to break through any dating or relationship speed bumps or plateaus. If you look at Doug was 64 when he took on this blueprint to figure out how to re-attract his wife. If you look at Mike T, he was 47. If you look at Matt Walker, he goes crazy.
Oh.
She don't accept it. Oh, man.
I'll watch that later. This is cringe. I wasted an hour of my life.
Hey, at least you didn't waste it.